Okay, so this video is going to talk about the budget line constraint curve that we talked about last week and the production possibility curve or frontier that we also talked about last week. So this is a short video to be a refresher, reminder for you guys, okay? Now, these are two different things, but they have some similarities. And so I'm going to talk about how they're different, but also how they're the same. So the budget constraint has to do with a consumer spending his money. He's got a limited amount of money to spend. He's got to decide, make choices of what he's going to spend it on. So this involves trade-offs or opportunity cost, okay? In this case, it's $1 will buy a certain, well, dollars can be used to buy either movies or books, okay? And $1 is the same as every other dollar. So for a budget constraint line, we wind up with a straight line function, okay? I want to call it a curve, but it's a straight line. We'll call it a function. That is the trade-off. If you spend your money on movies, for every movie you don't see, you can buy 2 books. So we have the points 6, 0, 5, 2, 4, 4, 3, 6, and those would be the points on, etc., all the way down the budget constraint here, okay? The point being you can't get beyond it. Those are things that are not possible, any point out here. So getting 4 movies and 6 books is simply not going to work. It's beyond the constraint, but you could get 4 movies and 2 books without spending all of your money. If you're going to spend all your money, you're going to have 4 movies and 4 books, okay? So, and then etc., all the rest of the combinations all the way down. This is a possible combination, but you're not spending all your money. You're not enjoying all of your utility from your budget. This is an impossible point out here. You simply can't buy that many movies and that many books. You don't have enough money, okay? So that's why it's a constraint. Now, the production possibility curve is also a constraint, okay? A frontier. Frontier's another word for a constraint, okay? The difference here is that this is a consumer purchasing things with dollars, and this is a nation looking at what it can produce with its given resources: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Whereas the dollars could either buy movies or books, and they were perfectly interchangeable. The resources, yes, they can make either guns or butter. Forgot to label it down here. So this is the butter axis. But they're not equally exchangeable between guns and butter. Just thinking about labor by itself, some workers are better in factories working with metal. Other workers are much better out in the countryside working on a farm. They don't like being in a factory. And likewise, the guys in a factory that love that don't like being out on a farm, okay? We could do the same explanation with land resource, that if you're going to use certain tracts of land to build a gun factory, it would be a good idea to build that factory where iron ore and the metal workers are available. Don't build it out in the middle of Nebraska. There's not a lot of iron ore out there, and it's very difficult to transport it there. Not a lot of waterways are going to go to those places. Whereas on the East Coast in Philadelphia, there's a lot of factories, a lot of iron smelting factories and the like that are nearby, and you're going to have a lot of that available. So some land is better suited for building a gun factory, whereas other land is better suited for having a farm and raising cows and the like, okay? We could do the same thing with certain kinds of machinery, okay? Machinery is going to be better used for making guns. Other machinery is going to be better used for making butter, the capital aspect of it, okay? So let's just focus on labor for the most part here. Now, like I explained in class, Same set of numbers here, only this is more readable. And when I was doing it in the class time, I kind of scribbled a little bit, so this may be more readable for you. There's the, when we add a certain amount of butter, so we're holding butter as our independent variable. We're choosing to add 10 units of butter. We're going to lose only 1 unit of guns because we take the worst gun workers out and have them go to the farm and start making butter. So these guys are very happy to do that. This trade-off ratio is 1 to 10. It's going to be a parallel line tangent up here, okay, at 10 units of butter, and it's got a very flat slope, only 1 to 10. So you go down 1 and over 10, okay, very flat slope there. Let's jump to 40 units of butter, and that's going to leave us with 90 units of guns, and the slope is going to be 3 to 10, so significantly more slope to it, okay? Let's jump to 70 units of butter. That would be right here, and we should have 67 units of guns, and that would be an 11 to 10 rather. So that's pretty close to a 1-to-1 trade-off, and that's very nearly a 45-degree angle there, okay? And the trade-off is significantly steeper at that point. And then, of course, when I get down here at 90 guns, I've got a 22-to-1 ratio, okay? And that's going to be incredibly steep, okay? 22 down and 10 over, 22 to 10 ratio, okay? And then finally the 29 to 10 ratio at the end here. All right, so that trade-off got steeper and steeper and steeper, and that illustrates the law of increasing opportunity costs. When we were only making a few units of butter, the opportunity cost, the number of guns that we lost, was very low, okay? But the opportunity cost got more and more. To make more units of butter in here, the opportunity cost was 11 guns and then 16 guns. And then as we got down here, the opportunity cost was 22 guns for every 10 units of butter, and finally 29 guns for every 10 units of butter. So the law of increasing opportunity costs is well illustrated there. The idea that as you get more of one product, you're going to have to give up increasingly more units of other products to get the same number of units of the product that you are trying to get more of, okay? So hopefully these short little videos will be good for review and to reinforce the things that we've gone over in class, okay?